What is going on, everyone? Coming at you with some OP04 gameplay. Super excited to bring this stuff to you guys as we have our first matchup of the new format and some pretty exciting news. The ban list is going to be kept for all of North America and the Western release of One Piece, which means that this meta is going to be completely fresh and it's going to be completely different than what we saw in Japan. That means that Whitebeard is not going to be a deck that is going to be as strong. And with these newcomers like Doflamingo, like Rebecca, we could see a complete shakeup in the meta. So I'm super excited about that. And I'm super excited to bring you guys this gameplay because these decks are super fun to play. And there's a lot of different variation. As we get more cards added to the card pool, we get a lot more options and we get a lot more things that are fun. And Doflamingo, I think, is a really good example of that because, you know, with his release, I don't think that necessarily the film package was like the first thought when releasing Doflamingo, but that's the best way to play him, it seems. So we're going to see Vivi go ahead and start first. Nothing played here. And then we're going to see Doflamingo go ahead and open with a Buena Festa, which is a very good card because, you know, you're going to grab a lot of film cards with it. We're going to pick up the Shiki here. And then we're going to pass turn. Forget to active our Dawn because we forget about our leader effect, but it's not that big of a deal. Our opponent's going to go ahead and play a Luffy. And we're going to pass turn back, and then we're going to go ahead and active Dawn and swing leader for 5 here again, and then we're going to pay 1 for a Buena Festa. Just kind of see what we can grab here. Going to grab the Nami. Nami is a great card. Lets you basically search your deck every turn if you can protect her, and so we're going to play that Nami, and then we're going to pass turn, and we're going to activate our leader effect to active 2 Dawn. And I think the Doffy effect is really, really strong. Just like really generically strong because you can have so much Dawn availability at all times in the game. And I think that being able to always have it available is super nice. So we're going to see a Robin played, and then we're going to see leader effect activated for Dawn for a draw, and giving Robin the rush, but then they're going to opt to swing with Robin. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open our turn by swinging with Nami and grabbing a Luffy. They're going to counter out with a Zoro. And then we're going to swing leader for 5 here. And then we're going to pay 5 for a Diamante and activating 2 Dawn. But Diamante is a great card because he lets you put additional pressure on your opponent's board, as well as leave up a blocker with your Donquixote Doflamingo effect. Just really, really good synergy with the leader. And then also just, again, being a 7k bot, he's basically like a pseudo kid in this deck, which is really nice. But we're going to see a Zoro come down and minus on the Nami, and it's going to pop the Nami, and they're going to swing out our life here, which we are going to take, and they're going to pass turn with 1 Dawn active here. And so we have a couple of different options on this turn. Now that Nami has been, you know, KO'd, we can do a couple of different things. So we're going to swing with Diamante at the Robin here to pop it, and then we're going to swing 5 at leader. Again, just trying to force cards out of our opponent's hand. They're going to counter with a Zoro, and then we're going to pay 7 here, and we're going to drop a Luffy into a Uda, and active 2 Dawn and active our Diamante here for the end of turn. So, you know, very, very strong combo here. We really just flooded our board and we have a very strong sense of board control at this point. Our 10 Dawn turn is coming up next, and we have a way to rest either of their characters if they decide to swing with them. So just depending on what they decide to do this turn, they could do things like 3000 Worlds and bottom deck our Diamante, or they could do things like play characters in rush. So they're going to go ahead and swing with Zoro here. We're going to opt to take that swing, and they're going to 3000 Worlds the Uda, or the Diamante actually, and Uda's going to stay on board, which I think actually Diamante is all right, but I think Uda would have been the right choice just because of like the ability to rest things. At least in my opinion, Uda's very good in this deck. So we're going to see a 5k swing with Doflamingo here at leader, which they're going to opt to take. And then there's a couple of things that we can do here this turn. So we're going to pay 5, and we're going to play another Diamante, and then we're going to pay 5, and we're going to play a Glid Tesoro. And Glid Tesoro is one of those cards that really allows you to ramp up. So like on this next turn, for example, like we have 2 big threats and blockers. We have Glid Tesoro, who's going to be a threat to draw cards. And like you basically have to pick the threat that you want to deal with, because you're not likely going to be able to deal with every single threat on the board at once with the Doflamingo deck, because you can just spam out so many bodies. And if you're going to try and deal with all of these threats, you're likely going to also have to rest your characters. Like, Pel's going to have to swing. Zoro's likely going to have to swing as well. So it's just difficult to pick and choose what you need to deal with. And then if you have to swing with Pel, that means something else is getting rested. So we're going to see an Otama minusing and popping the Diamante. We're gonna block and we're gonna rest the Zoro here. We're gonna use the Spiderweb to restand the Uda. So now we can block again if they decide to swing with the Luffy. Again, Spiderweb's a pretty good card. They have to play another rush character if they want to get, you know, additional value and use their Vivi effect to get that character rush. And again, so having that Uda up means that I can rest it and potentially use like my 10 drop Doflamingo to just really aggress on my opponent. And we're kind of in a magic scenario right now where like we have Glitosoro out, and so they're gonna play Nami, and Nami's gonna search top 5, and they're gonna grab a Sanji with that. And like I was saying, we're kind of in a dream scenario right now for the Glitosoro to be down, because you can just chain your 10 drop Doflamingos and draw 2 cards every turn, and that's really oppressive. Our opponent's also going to play the Pel here, and with 2 not active, they likely could give their Pel rush or draw a card with Vivi effect. So they're going to draw a card with Vivi and give Pel rush, but then they're going to pass turn without swinging, which is perfect. And again, now we're in the dream scenario where our opponent has a ton of rested characters. And so we're gonna drop the Doflamingo here, rest the Pel, rest the Zoro, and we're gonna swing up the Zoro using Glid's effect to draw 2 cards here. And this is where the value train just really starts to kind of pick up. We're gonna go ahead and swing Doflamingo at leader as well. And again, either just force cards out of hand or with them down to 1 life. And then we're gonna activate leader effect here at the end of our turn to restand 2 of our Dawn. And yeah, so now we have a very strong board, and we have like a character that our opponent really needs to deal with. Like Glitosoro is going to generate us 2 cards every single turn, and that amount of card advantage is really tough for any deck to deal with. Our opponent also has to worry about us chaining another Doflamingo on top of the Glitosoro drawing us 2 cards every single turn. So that's something that you have to be super wary of, and it's super difficult to deal with if you don't have removal for the Glitosoro. Not only that though, but like we have a Monkey D. Luffy and an Uda on board here, so if they do decide to swing with this Pel, that Uda can again rest anything else that's on their board, like this other Luffy here. Not to mention we have, you know, a ton of life still, as well as a ton of cards in hand, so it's kind of an insurmountable situation right now. It would feel overwhelming to play against for sure, but our opponent's going to play down Uda and minus on the Luffy, I believe. And then they're just thinking about like how they want to progress on this turn, what they want to do. They're going to play another Zoro to minus the Luffy again. And then they're going to swing at the Glitosoro popping the Luffy here. And we're just going to 2k counter out of that because Glid's 6k, 7k swing. It's a free 2k. And again, we have so many cards in hand at this point that it's just... I think we have like 10 cards in hand at this point, so we're feeling like Whitebeard. Our opponent's going to swing at us with Luffy, and we're going to counter out as well. That was a leader swing there, so we countered out 2 2Ks. And so now we're back. Again, we're in a position to just chain Doflamingos at this point, which we're going to do. We're going to drop another one and freeze the 2 Pels and the Zoro. And then we're going to swing 5 at the Luffy here. And then we're going to swing Glitosoro at leader again, draw 2 more cards. And just keep this value engine going. And then we'll swing the last Doffy at life here, pass turn, active 2 Dawn, and we're in a position right now where there isn't really much hope of our opponent coming back, because it's just, what do you do in this situation, right? You have to deal with the multiple threats. Our opponent's going to swing here at leader, we're going to 2k out of it. And they're going to drop a Kaido to bounce the Glitosoro and the Buena Festa, it looks like. But again, there's not really a ton that does. At this point, it's more of like a last-ditch, like, I'm conceding play, because we have a 10k swing, 2 5k swings, and a 20k swing, and so we're going to swing 10 at leader here, and they don't even have enough to get out of 10, so that's going to be game. Doflamingo taking the first match of OP04 on the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the match, and there'll be a lot more OP04 action coming at you guys soon. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I can't wait to showcase some more decks for you guys. Until next time, Monty out.